Hello, in this video I'm going to present you the new beta version of Siril. It's the 0.99.8 that is coming out in end of January or beginning of February 2021. This is a version that has many bug fixes and a few new features, most of them centered around the astrometry. As you can see, the look and feel of the application has not changed much since the last beta version, but the conversion and the sequence export have been both remade internally. If we take a look at the preferences, a few things have changed, in particular the order of the sections to avoid misleading the user about the demosaicing in particular. So this one is the Librau demosaicing that is used during conversion if demosaicing is enabled. And that is something that we rarely do in astronomy imaging because we want to calibrate the files before demosaicing. So in general, we use the other demosaicing algorithms that we have in this section. These are the default parameters. The RCD algorithm is very good for astronomy images, but if you want to use Siril for other purposes, maybe you can use other algorithms for that. So in this tab, we have the options for FITS files, the compressions that has been added in the 0.99 version, and the file extension, of course, and the 32-bit per channel option that is now the default since the 0.99 series 2. We have a new section for astrometry with a list of catalogs, all of them being activated by default. And then a pre-processing tab that has not changed, that allows you to put some master files from a library, for example, the dark and flat or offset files. And it also has a few external sensor settings. The photometry section has not changed, script neither. The user interface is almost unchanged except for the new symbolic icons checkbox. It has to do with the design of the fonts that are used. Don't have much detail right now. Performance tab has not changed either, but a lot has been done behind the scene with many fixes, and especially one that occurred in very big systems for a long time. And nothing much has changed about the MISC section. So now let's see the new features. Let's open a file. And this is M42 Orion. And let's switch to the auto stretch of the rendering. And now let's have fun with the new astrometry or plate solving features of this new release. So that's something that you might want to do if you want to learn more about your image. Maybe know which nebulas are inside or minor objects are on the main picture, or just find where you are in the sky if you're a bit lost and you're not sure which star is which. So here we can see that the interface is in English, but in the preferences you can change the language I think there are 15 languages available now for Siril, so feel free to change if you like. So let's open the plate solver window. So we have a white field here, and the hard task that you will have to do is find something that is close to the center of the image. So M42 is on the left here. You have B33 on the top. So sometimes it works even if it's not exactly at the center. So let's try M42. Find it online on the catalog on Simbad. Select it, and now we'll have to set the focal length and the pixel size as close as as close as they really are. In general, you can click on this Get Metadata from Image button if these two pieces of information have been provided in the acquisition software, or you can just type the values here if you know them. This option, Flip Image if needed, will flip the image if it has been recorded upside down, and then click on OK, and it will fetch the star catalogs for the area and identify stars on the local image and compare the two to find an astrometric solution. So here we see on the console that we have a result with the coordinates of the image on the world coordinates. And we have here this new button, and when you click on it, it will display some annotations from the local catalogs installed in the new version of Siril. By the way, to zoom in, you can use the Control key on your keyboard at the same time as the mouse wheel. You can also use the plus and minus buttons on the lower tools, and to pan on the image like that, it's Control and click and moving the mouse. So if you want to show these pictures to your friends, maybe, or just keep a record of what's in the image, you have this new feature here. It takes a snapshot of what is currently being displayed in the image panel of Siril. And when you click on it, Siril takes that picture and saves it in the current working directory as a PNG file. So this feature, the annotation, can only show some objects on the image if astrometry has been done already, either as we have done in Siril, but also in other acquisition or processing software. Maybe you can send your image on astrometry.net, have a plate solving being done there, download your image and open it in Siril, and it should work, and you should be able to see the annotation. So this is another example with the Crescent Nebula, and another one, and M81 and 82 field, very wide field. Of course, the astrometry solving, or the plate solving, has been done previously on these images. You can see that major stars are also displayed. In the preferences, in the astrometry section, you have the list of catalogs that are used to display the annotations. If you are in an area, or if you have a very wide field where you have too many stars in your image and you want to remove them from the annotations, you can unselect this catalog, the list of stars, in the preferences, and just then redisplay the annotations, and it will be shown or not. So these catalogs provided with Siril only contain the very most known objects, let's say the brightest objects. And one of the new features is that not only we can show which are the known famous objects in the image, but now you can query which object is one uh, um, feature of the image. So here a star was selected. Since the astrometry was already known, we have the world coordinate displayed. And when you click on this more information button, you are redirected, or a new web page is opened, and it gives you which star in particular, in this example, it was that was selected by the user. The other way is also possible. You can search an object if you know its name, and if you know it's in the picture. You can, for example, provide the star name here, and it will be displayed with the annotations too. So that's very useful when you have a star field like that, and you know, for example, that you have an exoplanet in it, but you're not sure which, because there are many, and it's not a very well-known star and a not very well-known field. So if you reopen this image a few months later or years later, you have no idea where your exoplanet star is, but you know its name, and so you can solve the image for astrometry using its name, and then display it as an annotated star. So here astrometry is done, plate solving is done, and the annotations show nothing for now because no famous object is in the field. We don't see any galaxy, or very bright ones at least. The stars are probably faint ones, but it's a long exposure. And we still want to know where our exoplanet is, or the star that hosts it at least. So let's search for it. So let's reopen the search object box. It's Control/ to open it. Or also right click and it's available in the menu. And let's type the name of the star. And that will query the web service that gives us the coordinates of the object. And since we have plate solved the image, we know in which pixel coordinates the star we are looking for is. So that's one of the new features of Siril. Of course, we can make a snapshot of that to remember where it is when processing the sequence, for example, or if we don't want to search for it in a few months. You can also see in this video and in this area at the bottom right of the picture that the world coordinates are displayed when moving the mouse over the image. That's also one of the new features of this version. You also have on the left now the zoom value. And now you have seen the new astrometry features of this new version. There are also changes in other parts of the software, of course, optimizations. So that will be topics for other videos. Thank you for listening and stay tuned.